Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Judge Renee Hughes on the line, and she's President and CEO over at Philadelphia OIC. Judge Hughes, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
So I'm excited to talk about today's topic. We will talk about the future of workforce, preparing for jobs after the pandemic. But before we do that, just to give people a little bit more of the background of the work that you're doing over at Philadelphia OIC, tell us a little bit more about the organization, please.
Thank you. Philadelphia OIC is an amazing organization. It was founded in 1964, so it's 56 years old, and it's had the same mission, and that is to eradicate poverty through education and employment. What we know for a fact is that there are only two things that make a difference with respect to poverty: education and employment. And so we have, throughout this time, always trained people for work. The work of today and the work of tomorrow.
So obviously the whole country, the whole world for that matter, is going through a big transition period in the middle of this pandemic. And we know, unfortunately, that, there's a lot of unemployed people right now. I mean, what type of things should unemployed people be doing to prepare for this future of the workforce in America?
This is an excellent time to reassess where you are and what you need to do to position for the way work will be done in America. I don't think that we will completely return to buildings. There will be some significant percentage of remote working. There's a portion of the community that likes that flexibility, and they are good at it. I think the significant portion of the community will return to working together and working in locations. So this is a good time to assess and retool. Where do you stand with respect to digital literacy? And we throw that word around lightly, but it's something that people really should think about. How sharp are your digital skills? Is this a good time to go back to school? And you could be going back to school for a GED. You could be going back to school to get your BA, your master's. It doesn't matter. But this is a good time to sharpen your skills, to make sure that as opportunities present themselves, you're ready.
So, as these opportunities present themselves, and this different change in climate and workforce all around, the jobs could potentially change also in terms of what type of industries or what this whole workforce kind of, field even looks like in a post-pandemic United States or world. So when you think about things like that, what kind of industries do you see maybe as being on the horizon for job growth overall?
Let's look at today and let's look at the horizon. So if we look today, as odd as this may sound, healthcare is blossoming. Many people are getting burned out. They're leaving the position, but America's need, the healthcare workers at every level, is growing. It's growing exponentially. What we see is that rural America does not have the resources that it needs. Even suburban America is not prepared for what has happened to the country. So we continue to see healthcare opportunities as being the right place to be. It's an area that's never going to leave America. To that end, advanced manufacturing. What does that mean? What have we all been waiting for? The vaccine. But the vaccine requires specialized skills to go into manufacturing. It's a hyper clean environment. So the way environmental services operates is changing. That's what's going to allow us to reopen office buildings, changing the way we clean office buildings. So environmental services is a wonderful entry area to look at. People should focus on environmental services. They should focus on certified nursing assistants. They should focus on lab techs, phlebotomy, utilities, the way we heat America, the way we light America, the way we move through America, all different and changing as we speak. So I would advise people to look at utilities, gas, electric, solar. One of our most popular programs is solar. Financial services industry, another place that continues to grow, and the nature of jobs are growing. I would imagine that many of the people listening to your show have never met a teller, a bank teller. Those jobs don't necessarily exist, but personal bankers exist. And you don't have to be rich to have a personal banker. You simply have to call the 800 number. There are lots of opportunities that exist. They're just changing. And so we need to change in the way that we prepare people for work. I think if people could focus on anything, I'd ask them to focus on, if I woke up today, I have the opportunity to learn something new. So before I go to sleep, what did I learn today that will help me be better tomorrow?
You took me back a moment when you said a lot of the people listening maybe haven't seen a bank teller, been in a bank, and I had to ask myself, I'm like, when's the last time I've been in a bank? It's been a while.
Yeah. But if you think about it, your grandparents knew their banker by name, knew their grandparents' children by name. We live in a different world, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a need for people, because if you have an issue or a question, at some point, you're not going to press a number on the computer. You're going to reach for a human. You're going to press 0. Give me a human. Humans will always be important. And so customer service skills, the ability to help people solve problems when you're not in the same space, those skills are critical.
So Philadelphia, so your area that you're working at with Philadelphia OIC, so I mean it's one of the poorest big cities in the nation. What is Philadelphia OIC's strategy to help reduce the poverty in Philadelphia?
First and foremost, the opportunities that we offer at OIC are free. So we spend an enormous amount of time looking for support, funding for opportunities, because we don't want economics to be a barrier to a person getting the skills they need to succeed. So everything at OIC is free. What it requires from you is a commitment and sweat equity to come in and do the work. And what we do is ensure that you have not only the education that you need, in other words, your high school diploma, digital literacy, we also focus on those life skills that allow you to be successful. I mentioned advanced manufacturing and healthcare. Those are arenas in which the title may not sound fancy, but you have to approach that work knowing that what you do is important. Think about this. When you talk about advanced manufacturing or you talk about biopharma manufacturing, you're talking about an environment where the slightest bit of dust could alter the way a formula works. So your job may be to clean equipment, but that's a critical job. It is essential to the success of the company. So the mindset that we create here at OIC is that there is dignity in all work, and all work requires your best. Nothing less is acceptable. But that is also the mindset that will get you promoted. If you really believe that what you do is important and it's vital to the success of the company, then you don't limit yourself. You look at the entire company and say, how can I add value? I'm going to add value today. And when you do that, then you are the person that gets promoted. You are the person that takes on greater responsibility. That keeps you relevant. So,
going into 2021, as we're recording this, we're, January 4th as of 2021, just back to the year, first Monday after. Anything that you care to share that you're just planning or, thought process-wise or strategies for, 2021 in terms of goals or things that you're working on over at Philadelphia OIC?
So a large part of the magic is the partnerships that we create. We actually partner with employers. When you come to OIC, we don't train you in a theoretical manner. We're training you for specific opportunities that we know employers are hiring for, and we know exactly what they want. So we create these partnership councils that allow us to be very clear that our training is relevant to the industry, whether that industry is smart energy or it's financial services or it's hospitality and tourism. And I know that American hospitality and tourism has taken a beating, but one of the things that we're very proud of here is that Philadelphia is one of the few World Heritage cities in the nation. It is the only one in the nation, and it's one of the few in the world. Hospitality and tourism will return. And when it returns, it will return with a vengeance. So customers, think about it. I bet you didn't travel at all this year. You haven't probably traveled since last January or February.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to travel. I cannot wait. It's going to come back because I'm going to be the main one traveling.
There you go, Adam. And I have to tell you, my family's joining you, okay? We're already plotting our trips. So tourism is coming back. And so people think that, restaurants are going to die. No, they're not. That is not the nature of America. We will reinvent, we will retool, and I think you're going to discover that some people are going to like some things that we thought of only for ski resorts. Eating outside with a heat lamp in your own little bubble that's been created just for you has a real appeal to it. So we continue to watch hospitality and tourism because we do believe it's going to come roaring back. And one of our most successful programs continues to be culinary arts. We've trained nationally recognized chefs. We will continue to train nationally recognized chefs who will reshape the way we eat in America. So I really do think the future is bright, but it's bright for companies like Philadelphia OIC because of our willingness to listen, learn, partner, adapt to where America is headed. And that's what makes us special.
Fantastic. So if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about Philadelphia OIC or to get involved, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening, not just in Philadelphia and the United States, but worldwide, how does somebody connect with the organization?
The easiest and the best way to contact us is to go to our website, and it's philaoic.org. philaoic.org. That's the easiest way to get us. But you can put that same thing, Philly OIC, and you'll find us on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're easy to find, Philadelphia OIC. And we welcome partners from around the country. Reach out to us. We're happy to share what we know works. And we're also happy to help people. You don't have to live in Philly to come be a part of the Philadelphia OIC success story.
Wonderful. Well, Judge Hughes, really appreciate you coming on the show today to share more about all the great work that's going on over at Philadelphia OIC and the really, crucial issues that you're working towards solving and really just being a benefit out there. And I'm happy to bring this story to my audience. And to everyone listening, I hope you got a lot of value out of this, of course. And if you're a first-time listener, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Like to have you back and be a return listener. And Judge Hughes, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Adam. It was a pleasure to talk with you.